Good evening. Thanks for staying with us on the Urban Debate. We move on to conversation number 2. Elections are over in Bihar, but politics and political fights haven't stopped. First, last evening, it was the former Deputy Chief Minister Sushil Modi who levelled a massive allegation against RJD Chief Lalu Prasad Yadav of calling NDA MLAs and offering them ministerial berths. Look at the tweet he put out. He actually even put out a phone number. And he said, Lalu Yadav is calling me from this number from Ranchi and he's promising ministerial berths. When I telephoned, Lalu directly picked up this phone. I said, don't do these dirty tricks from jail, you will not succeed. Just let me remind you, Lalu Prasad Yadav is still serving his jail term in Ranchi in Jharkhand, although for most of it he has been in a hospital due to poor health. And now he is staying in this bungalow, which actually belongs to the RIMS director. It's a bungalow given to the hospital's director, which is where Lalu Prasad is spending his days. So it wouldn't be very surprising if he actually had access to at least a phone, if this is how he's living there. But it didn't just end here. The charge didn't just end with this tweet. Then emerged an audio call, allegedly between Lalu Prasad Yadav and a BJP leader. Now, I don't want to say much about it. We don't know if this is authentic, but the BJP is saying this is Lalu Prasad trying to convince their MLA to vote against the alliance and their choice of speaker. Listen in.
हाँ पासवान जी बधाई
जी प्रणाम चरण स्पर्श आपका ठीक है
खुश रहे
जी अच्छा लगा ठीक है
अच्छा सुनो
हाँ
हम लोग तुमको आगे भी बढ़ाएंगे वहाँ अब बढ़े तुम कल जो स्पीकर का चुनाव है उसमें हम लोग का साथ दो तो उसका हम तुमको बनाएंगे मंत्री बनाएंगे कल तो इनको हम लोग गिरा देंगे समझे ना हाँ तो
पार्टी में है सर मैंने
पार्टी में है तो एब्सेंट हो जाओ ना पार्टी में हो तो एब्सेंट हो जाओ
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है
कोरोना हो गया था फिर तो स्पीकर हमारा हो जाएगा तो हम लोग देख लेंगे ना
अच्छा अच्छा पार्टी में है सर थोड़ा सा ठीक है सर
अरे बेकार का एब्सेंट हो जाओ तुम पासवान जी
आपके तो संज्ञान में होगा ही सर चेहरा हम बात करेंगे सर ठीक है
ठीक एब्सेंट हो जाओ ठीक
Absent ho jao, says that voice. Does sound like Lalu Prasad Yadav, but the RJD says this is just a conspiracy to defame Lalu's reputation, that he doesn't even have a phone in jail, and no one can really say whether this audio tape is real or not. We don't know if the audio tape is real or not, but this has become BJP's big charge. Now, the question is, should the opposition be indulging? Firstly, of course, is the opposition, is the RJD indulging in trying to destabilize the new government? Should they be doing that? Should they simply stick to being a strong opposition now for this term under the leadership of Tejasvi Yadav? Let's say good evening to the panelists who are joining us for this conversation. Sudesh Verma, spokesperson for the BJP, is with us this evening. Syed Faisal Ali, senior leader of the RJD. Dinesh Vashna, leader of the CPI, with us this evening. And Syed Afzal Abbas of the JDU. Let me start with Syed Faisal Ali. Ali ji, ये लालू प्रसाद जी की आवाज़ है?
नहीं बिल्कुल नहीं, लालू जी की आवाज नहीं है। और जिस तरह से लालू जी की आवाज को सुनाया जा रहा है, आपने देखा होगा, आप जर्नलिस्ट हैं, सीजन जर्नलिस्ट हैं, कि हिंदुस्तान के वो अकेले नेता हैं जिनकी आवाज निकाल करके बहुत सारे उद्योग चल रहे हैं, बहुत सारे स्टैंड अप कॉमेडियन उनकी आवाज निकालते हैं, बहुत सारे मिमिक्री आर्टिस्ट उनकी आवाज निकालते हैं। द हंड्रेड एंड थाउजेंड्स ऑफ पीपल हु आर मेकिंग सिमिलर वॉइसेस, तो वो उनकी आवाज नहीं है, मैं बिल्कुल रिजेक्ट करता हूँ। सेकेंडली, जो आप अभी प्ले कर रही हैं क्लिप लालू प्रसाद यादव जी की टहलते हुए, शोइंग एज इफ की दैट इज द बंगलो वेयर लालू प्रसाद यादव इज लॉज, इज रॉन्ग। जिस अस्पताल की जहां वो टहल रहे हैं वो रिम्स का स्पेशल वार्ड है, जहां वो पहले भर्ती थे, वो बंगला नहीं है जहां वो टहल रहे हैं। पब्लिक को गलत परसेप्शन नहीं होना चाहिए, ये उसका जिस हॉस्पिटल में थे रिम्स की लॉबी है। दूसरी बात ये कि देखिए, ये इसकी टाइमिंग आप देखिए, अभी कुछ दिनों पहले जब बिहार में चुनाव हुआ तो बिहार के जो सबसे मुखर और लालू विरोधी जो चेहरा थे सुशील कुमार मोदी, वो हाशिए पर आ गए। भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने उनको बिल्कुल से किनारे कर दिया और उनको उप मुख्यमंत्री भी नहीं बनाया। तो आज का जो टेप कांड है वो कहीं ना कहीं दिस इज अ डेस्परेट अटेम्प्ट बाय सुशील कुमार मोदी टू कीप हिम सेल्फ पॉलिटिकली रेलेवेंट इन बिहार। अपने आप को प्रासंगिक रखने के लिए, अपने आप को पॉलिटिकली रेलेवेंट रखने के लिए एक डेस्परेट अटेम्प्ट है। और आपको यह भी बता दूं कि अभी कुछ दिनों में रामविलास पासवान जी की मृत्यु के बाद जो राज्यसभा की सीट वैकेंट हुई है, वो उससे राज्यसभा भी जाना चाहते हैं। तो ये सारी चीजें वही हैं और ये कोई पहली बार
पॉइंट बाय पॉइंट लेते हैं। लेट मी
सुशील मोदी ने ये बात किया, अक्सर सुशील मोदी इस तरह से करते रहे हैं और हमेशा उन्होंने मुंह की खाई है। इस बार फिर वो झूठे साबित होंगे और मुंह की खाएंगे।
ओके, बट इट्स नॉट कि आरजेडी ने कुछ भी नहीं किया। आपने बहुत ट्राई किया, रकस और दंगा तो काफी हुआ असेंबली में वैसे भी। तो बट आई विल कम टू दैट इन जस्ट अ बिट। बट फर्स्ट मिस्टर सुदेश वर्मा, डिड सुशील मोदी और एनीबडी फ्रॉम बीजेपी चेक कि ये शेखर सुमन या किसी ने तो नहीं रिकॉर्डिंग कर दी लालू के नाम पे?
Not at all. You see, Honorable Leader of BJP Sushil Modi ji has also given the number from which the call was made, and also that it has been traced. It has been traced to a person who is very close to Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav, and everybody knows. You can have bundles of lies to deny that this is not your voice. If you want, forensic test can also be done. But after that, what will you say? The point is, the moot point is that you are trying to destabilize the government using unethical means. He is saying that a speaker should be ours, that after that there is nothing remains, we'll see. So you see the kind of unethical practice which Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav is known for, and it is a slap on those people who thought that Mr. Tejasvi Yadav would give a new kind of politics in Bihar. It is built on the same kind of unethical politics, and the echo of that you found in the elections of a speaker in the assembly. They made an issue out of nowhere just to hide their inconsistency, their theft and their lies, just to do that. Otherwise, if you see, add 2 plus 2, there is no reason for such a ruckus in the assembly, other than this, that they were badly exposed, and media would have highlighted that only. But they tried to overcome that by raising an issue that should not have been there.
Okay, but here is the other point, and before I go across to Mr. Ali to respond to that, let me get Saeed Afzal Abbas as well. Mr. Saeed Afzal Abbas, the response from the RJD is that Sushil Modi, who was very close to Nitish Kumar, has now been abandoned by team NDA and he is trying to be relevant. आप इस पे क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
देखिए, सुशील मोदी जी की बात, आज जो बात हुई लालू यादव के जो टेप की बात हो रही है, मैं बड़े अदब के साथ कहता हूँ, लालू यादव एक बड़े कद्दावर नेता है, इससे इनकार नहीं किया था। लेकिन इस तरह की अगर ये बात बिल्कुल गलत है तो उन्हें तो मानहानि का केस करना चाहिए आरजेडी वालों को, जो इल्जाम लगा रहे हैं। तो ये कहीं ना एक बड़े नेता होने के नाते उसके बावजूद भी इस तरह की बातें टेप हो रही है उनकी, और उसके बावजूद वो इनकार कर रहे हैं। आपको याद होगा सीवान के शहाबुद्दीन साहब जो एमपी थे, उन्होंने जेल से कैसे बात करते हुए याद करना चाहिए कि एसपी आपका कैसा है। तो मैं इस डिबेट में मैं आपके साथ बैठा भी हूँ, तो मैं समझता हूँ कि ये पुरानी रिवायत उनकी है, उसको दोहरा रहे, कोई नई बात नहीं है। अगर ये बात गलत है तो आरजेडी को बिल्कुल है कि उनको केस करना चाहिए, मानहानि का केस करना चाहिए, डिफामेशन सूट करना चाहिए। और ये बिल्कुल सही है कि अगर ये तोड़ने की साजिश अगर है तो एक एमएलए लेके वो बिहार झारखंड में मंत्री बने हुए, उसका दुरुपयोग तो जरूर हो रहा है। अब ये बिहार की आवाम भी समझ रही है कि अगर ये बनता है, सरकार बनती तो बिहार का क्या हालत होता है। ये बात पूरी तरह सामने आ गई है कि एक मंत्री, एक एमएलए पर बिहार में, झारखंड में सरकार में शामिल है, उसका मिसयूज हो रहा है।
Okay.
आप दोषी
आप कह रहे हैं कि वो मिसयूज कर रहे हैं, और बिहार की जनता ये जानती है कि आरजेडी कैसे बिहेव करती है। लेकिन आपका इस एक्यूजेशन पे क्या डिफेंस है कि आरजेडी ये कह रही है कि जो लोग इस हाउस में नहीं होने चाहिए थे वोट के समय, वो भी थे। The ministers can only be in the assembly, Mr. Abbas, when they have to make comments about policy or respond to queries by the MLAs. वो वोट के समय, वॉइस वोट के समय क्यों थे वहां पे मौजूद?
अब देखिए, ये तो लीगलिटी की बात आप कर रही हैं, तो क्यों हुआ और उससे वो समझे। लेकिन जहां तक मैं जिस डिबेट में आप बात कर रही हैं, मैं उस पर बात करना चाहता।
हाउस में कॉल पहुंचना चाहिए, नहीं पहुंचना चाहिए, अगर कानून के दायरे से बाहर है तो बिल्कुल गलत है। मैं इसका तरफदारी नहीं कर सकता। जो गलत है उसको गलत मानना चाहिए, और जो गलत को सही न साबित किया जाए। अगर गलती की गई तो बिल्कुल गलती, उसको एक्सेप्ट करना चाहिए। अब किस आधार पर गए नहीं गए हमें नहीं कह सकता, गलती है तो बिल्कुल
नहीं मतलब वो लोग हैं असेंबली में, वो तो विजुअल्स पे दिखाई दे रहा है, जो MLAs नहीं हैं बट मिनिस्टर्स हैं, वो मौजूद थे स्पीकर के वोट के समय, और एक तो वॉइस वोट होता है स्पीकर के लिए, तो कहना वैसे भी बहुत मुश्किल है।
नहीं, मैं समझता हूँ कि जो भी लोग गए हैं वो लोग कोई जाहिल तो है नहीं, हो सकता कोई प्रावधान हो, मैं इस बात नहीं जानता कि प्रावधान है या कि नहीं है।
ठीक है,
कोई प्रावधान होगा तो जाते होंगे, अगर रूल के खिलाफ गए तो गलत है, लेकिन मैं समझता हूँ कि वो लीगल होगा तभी गए होंगे।
Okay, yes, Sudesh Verma wants to clarify and then to Dinesh Varshney.
You see, you know, Tanvi, that Pro Tem Speaker Mr. Jitin Maji clarified it in the assembly that earlier also there have been instances where during voting a person who happens to be chief minister or a minister and he is an MLC continues to be in the house, he does not participate in voting. And he has also given example of Lalu Prasad Yadav ji, who was the Lok Sabha member. His wife Rabi Devi was the chief minister and he used to sit. So there has been a tradition in the house, and when Pro Tem Speaker rules, because he was the speaker then, and there was a parliamentary affairs minister who briefed about the process, who briefed about the tradition, and then also you go on questioning. So the house has to be governed by the Pro Tem Speaker's ruling, isn't it? And he is acting constitutionally. So you cannot create ruckus. And after all, he is the chief minister. You basically wanted to have a score with him because he is the chief minister and you wanted to be the chief minister. You were trying to insult him. And all this ruckus happens because of that, and also because of the exposure that happened because of Mr. Sushil Modi's tape that showed Lalu Prasad Yadav trying to buy our MLA by luring him with ministerial berth, isn't it? So they wanted to create so that nobody questions them on this issue. This is the bigger issue than what happened in the assembly, because that happened constitutionally.
They were not asked to come and attend this just in case some people did get lured and decided to give the COVID excuse for being absent during the voting. You would have some others who are not legitimately allowed to vote but can make noise about it.
No, noise was not the issue. The issue was counting.
Tanvi, I would like to respond.
The Pro Tem Speaker had ruled that only those who are standing, their heads will be counted.
Okay.
And after that, there was no reason to create a ruckus.
Okay. Syed Faisal Ali wants to respond to that.
See, our BJP guy is only talking about Chief Minister Nitish Kumar's presence in the house. The fact is that...
I'm also talking about the minister you are talking about. I know the two ministers who were there.
Please have patience and have the courtesy of speaking me out.
No, I have that much of knowledge about what happened in the assembly.
You people, no.
So don't say that I'm not talking about
them.
No.
I will tell you.
Mr. Maji spoke about them also.
No, I question your wisdom. Tell me under what rule white vote is conducted in the house. Tell me the rule book. Tell me the rule book. Under which rule?
The Affairs Minister who explained, had he been a member of the Legislative Council,
tell me.
Then if he was not there, how would have he explained? Tell me that. So presence of member is not important.
Please,
where is participating in the voting?
Okay, one at a time, please. One at a time.
When he was speaking, when this BJP guy was speaking, I was keeping quiet.
You question my knowledge. So I'm just
yes,
you.
I still challenge you. I still challenge you.
Why do you want
you
to challenge
me? Tell me the rule number. Tell me the rule number. I will tell you the rule number.
Why you are challenging me?
Okay. Faisal Ali is... Mr. Faisal Ali.
Tell me. He doesn't know.
Yes, what's the rule number?
Anyway, let me tell you what we are saying, that forget about the Chief Minister. There were two guys, Mr. Mukesh Sahni and Mr. Ashok Chaudhary. None of them are a member of either of the house. Neither they are MLAs, nor they are MLCs. How they were present in the house? Secondly, under Rule 99, listen, Mr. BJP guy, the spokesman, under Rule 99 of House Business Rule, it is allowed a voice vote or division of vote. So please, unless you know the rule, don't speak. It exposes you. Secondly, he is talking about morality.
I'm just talking about the ruling given by Pro Tem Speaker. If you have a problem with the ruling, go to the court. You cannot hold
okay, I'm going to say this. Okay, fair point. If there is a problem with the ruling that was given by the Pro Tem Speaker Jitin Ram Manji about the presence of the non-elected representatives in the House, Mr. Faisal Ali.
Only 30 seconds, Tanvi.
Okay, only 30 seconds. Only 30 seconds, and then Dinesh Varshney must come in. Yes, 30 seconds to Faisal Ali.
Yeah. Please, see, he is giving lecture that about the morality and legality.
I don't come here to give lecture.
Please, have
I argue my
patience.
case.
Have patience.
Mr. Sudesh Sharma, let him speak, please. Let him speak. Yeah.
Come on. You are exposing yourself, my dear
Lecture is a
friend.
derogative
See,
term. We are debating an issue.
Okay. Please wait for your turn. This is the simple manner of
Okay,
a
I'll
debate.
wait. I'll wait. Thank you.
Wait. Don't. See, he is giving his remarks, if not lecture per se, that morality and legality and so many things. Where was the legality when your Central Union Cabinet Minister, Mr. Shekhawat, called a Congress MLA in Rajasthan on 17th of July this year? Same tape can't you keep mum?
No.
Where was your morality and political propriety in Arunachal Pradesh, in Manipur, in Maharashtra, in Rajasthan?
This was concocted by you.
Government, elected government,
You have no moral right, to put the blame on the BJP.
to talk about
it was your own problem in the House. It was in the Congress
who are
that the
toppling
problem
government,
came.
elected
It was
government,
not because of BJP.
Every now and then they are talking about morality.
Here a
of the
person
politics.
who is convicted
You have no right.
in the jail
You people are
and he is
immoral.
talking.
You people are
His phone
politically
record is
bankrupt.
there.
It's debatable.
The phone has been traced to his
Well,
head.
Mr. Sudesh Sharma, let me just say this, to say the least, it's debatable if he is actually serving jail time right now from the visuals that keep emerging of the kind of living conditions that Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav has in Ranchi in Jharkhand. But
Yes,
Dinesh Varshney, on another note, it would have been very interesting if some of the MLAs had not turned up citing COVID. If they had actually remained absent saying, I have COVID, I can't come. I think it would have been a very interesting legal turn of events. But your reaction to the phone call, an RJD leader who's supposed to be in jail trying to lure people from the other side, allegedly.
You cannot say conclusively. Yes.
Look, Tanvi, I met Laluji at least 100 times. I know his voice. I am very sure this is not his voice.
The whole country
His
knows
voice,
his
voice doesn't trouble. This voice was troubling. Number two, you see, if there is if somebody is closer to him having a phone, BJP can buy that fellow. And Sushil Modi is a trained person in that. They can buy the MLAs in Madhya Pradesh. They can stop the formation of the Congress government in Manipur, in Goa. Everybody knows who is the Ayaram Gayaram masters of this country nowadays. It is the BJP. Now I come to the assembly. You see, it is very unethical on the part of the Honorable Pro Tem Speaker of the Bihar, Mr. Manjiji, to allow the outsider in the assembly when the division was asked or the voice vote was asked. Exactly. That Sudesh Verma was giving a reference to Ravadi Deviji's time election. He should know that the assembly speaker election has happened. Just a minute. Assembly speaker election has happened.
What was said in the assembly by the Pro Tem Speaker?
Years. There was a consensus election.
Of keeping quiet
there was no objection.
Okay, 1 minute please. Mr. Varshney has heard everybody out for 15 minutes on this conversation without interrupting. Let's show him the same courtesy. Yes.
That was absolutely an abduction of the democratic norms and forms of the assembly, as they have abducted the votes during the counting process of the Bihar assembly election. This act of the present government there is condemnable. It is very unfortunate. It is a murder of the democracy.
Okay, can I speak now?
Yes, Sudesh Sharma.
Okay, repository of all the morality, Professor Dinesh Varshney. Suppose it is true, and if the voice sample shows that it is true through forensic evidence, do you condemn this act? Because you don't need to meet Lalu Prasad Yadav 100 times to know his voice. The entire country knows his voice. You just need to go type Google, Lalu Prasad Yadav will get his voice, isn't it? So, will you then condemn this? If this has happened, tell me that.
You denied the Shekhawat voice.
So,
we did not
so
deny.
you are quoting Mr. Shekhawat. You are not trying to condemn.
Why you are not saying anything about Gajendra Shekhawat voice? No. Would you condemn? Would you condemn?
If the jail in judicial custody because he's supposedly
if the tape of Gajendra Shekhawat found to be true,
convicted person was using mobile, and you don't even condemn that.
And the central minister condemned it all. And the central minister condemned it all.
Okay. No, Mr. Sudesh Sharma. Mr. Sudesh Sharma, let's get to specifics instead of talking over each other. The question that is being asked to you from the other side is, if we are to believe that this is Lalu's voice and this is what he was trying to do, then by same metrics, you should also admit that the last day that came out in Rajasthan time was the minister Gajendra Shekhawat.
No, it's not true. It's not true. And the voice sample didn't match. It was a theory concocted by Ashok Gehlot ji because there was a problem within the Congress and they wanted to show that the BJP was poaching. BJP was not doing anything. It was because Mr. Sachin Pilot had revolted. Sachin Pilot was their own young leader. They could not tame him, and that is why the crisis. So they tried to blame the BJP. Here there is no BJP. Here Mr. Lalu Prasad
you were
Yadav
trying to make use of the situation and topple the government and make your own government, which failed.
Prasad Yadav, the media would not have shown. If I saw Mr. Dinesh Vaste's voice in place of Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav, you will not show it.
सब जानते हैं आप कैसे MLA खरीदते हो मध्य प्रदेश गोवा मणिपुर कहाँ पे नहीं खरीदते
What have you done? What have you done in Arunachal Pradesh? What have you done in Manipur? What have you done in Madhya Pradesh? What you tried to do in Maharashtra?
Gentlemen, one at a time. Okay, I have a question for the RJD. Tapes aside, I think it's very well established, and honestly, we will leave it to the intelligence of people if they want to believe this or not. And on same lines, believe the tapes that emerged during the Karnataka battle for power in Karnataka, battle for power in Rajasthan, and even before that when it came to Uttarakhand and Arunachal. Frankly, I think politicians should give up on this because everybody knows attempts to lure happens, but everybody also knows to take these audio clips with a pinch of salt. Now, the real question is this, Mr. Ali, is the RJD still trying the chaos that the ruckus that you created today to destabilize the government? Should you not behave like a responsible opposition under the leadership of Tejasvi, the new promises that you made of a young leader and the changes and everything? Why are you resorting to the same old tactics inside the assembly?
I hope that the BJP gentleman will keep quiet and listen what I'm saying. See, what you are calling ruckus in the assembly is the democratic process. It is a preset. This is the precedence of the proceeding of the House that whenever any proposal is put forward, the opposition objects to it, raises questions. What is wrong in it? And when our people saw that two members who were guys who were neither member of the either of the houses, they were present. This was legitimate on our part. This was our democratic duty to oppose it, to bring it to the knowledge of the pro tem speaker. And the pro tem speaker, in fact, failed to perform his duties as per the business law. And see, what we are trying, see, this government sooner or later is going to fall under its own contradiction. There is no denying the fact. This government is not going to survive for a longer period. Everybody knows. And there is no rocket science involved to understand that this government of Mr. Nitish Kumar is going to fall. But what is happening, that they are trying to blame RJD or the opposition, which is trying to bring government back to the main issue. We are raising the issues of 19 lakhs jobs promised during the elections. Now you people are in the government, bring those issues.
So raise the issues when the proceedings of the assembly are conducted. Raise the issues when the proceedings of the assembly are conducted. Why create noise about the... Did you really think, let me ask you a very simple question, Mr. Ali. Did you really think that the election for the speaker in the Bihar assembly is going to go any other way?
Can I respond to Mr. Ali now?
It was very clear from the start.
You tell me, in which,
can I respond
in
to
which
Mr.
assembly it doesn't happen?
Opposition is denied to have the protest.
Because the bigger alliance is going to follow. The bigger alliance and the bigger party in majority in the House is going to follow the whip issued by their alliance.
We have to protest.
Okay, Mr. Sudeshwar, I will come to you. Dinesh Vastev, yes.
Tanvi, I have just two brief points to make.
Mr. Sudeshwar, I am coming to you. Dinesh Vastev first. Can I please hear Dinesh Vastev?
They were only 110 members on that day. They were not in majority. What have they done during the Kisan bill in Rajya Sabha? What have they done? They were only 110 members present on that day. They can bring the attendance register of that day. When this happened, pass. The same thing they have done it in the Bihar assembly today. They were brought the outsiders. They were two non-members in the House. So what else the opposition will do? Opposition has a right to protest in the House. We were protesting in the House.
Okay. All right. Sudesh Verma wants to respond to that.
Okay.
Go ahead, please.
Just two brief points. One is, you know that Jharkhand government has filed a sedition case against BJP State President Mr. Deepak Prakash for saying that this government will fall and BJP will form its own government. Just for saying that. If these people are what they are saying, and what Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav did, a similar case can be lodged against them. But we are not undemocratic. We do not follow a policy of vindictiveness or vendetta. And that is why we want democracy to thrive. Listen, man. Listen, please. I did not interfere. Kindly listen now, coming to you. You see, you can raise any issue in the House. It is Speaker's election. Chief Minister is leader of the House. He is sitting in the House. You were trying to insult him. The pro tem Speaker gave a ruling. After that, you should have stopped and allowed the elections to take place. And you could have gone with unanimous election because the Speaker is supposed to be non-partisan. You did not allow that because you were under the impression that some members of the BJP will vote against and then you will be able to speak the Speaker during election. That didn't happen. That was the whole game plan you had. And why don't you admit it? Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav's tape only shows that. And your ruckus was clearly trying to preempt that. Because you were going to be completely on the back foot on this issue. And everybody knows that. And once when such a senior person who was elected to pro tem speaker gives a ruling, a person who wants to project himself as a responsible politician should behave in a proper manner.
Okay, let me get Saif Faisal Ali to respond to that. Yes, Mr. Ali.
What he is saying, we were not only objecting about Mr. Nitish Kumar's presence in the House. That was also technically not correct. Because he is also... He is also member of the upper house, not the elected house. Secondly, we were objecting to the presence of Mr. Mukesh Sahni and Mr. Ashok Chaudhary. They are not member of either of the houses.
No.
Secondly,
but they are ministers,
still, there was no other business transaction. There was simply election of the speaker taking place on that day, and they were not supposed to be present. See the rule book, Mr. Whatever your name is.
Mr. Sudesh Verma.
Mr. Sudesh Verma, please see the rule book. Please see the rule book. Please see the rule book and you will realize.
You are talking of rule book. Speaker has ruled over tradition. Tradition also guides you.
He overruled it.
So you feel that speaker should speak your language, isn't it? You want the pro tem speaker to speak your language. You will decide what democracy is, not the pro tem speaker, isn't it?
Come on,
this is what democracy is for you.
Wait for your term.
This is not democracy.
Wait for your term. You
are exposed completely, man.
Okay.
You are saying that protest
Okay, Mr. Sudesh Verma, let him finish, please. We'll just towards the end of this, one by one, let's finish. Make our points. Yes, Saif Faisal Ali.
See, we see what has happened as a desperate attempt by Bharatiya Janata Party and one of its leaders, Mr. Sushil Kumar Modi, as a desperate attempt to keep himself relevant in the politics of Bihar. Secondly, they know that this government is going to fall sooner or later, so they want to create an atmosphere that RJD is trying to destabilize the government. We are not trying to destabilize government, but we will play the role of an effective and very strong opposition in the House. So thirdly, what happened today is nothing but murder of democracy and democratic precedence in Bihar Assembly today. The pro tem speaker's conduct was is not acceptable, and the way the whole business was took place is unconstitutional and illegal.
Okay, closing comments from Mr. Sudesh Verma, and then when we wrap this up.
You see, you know clearly, Tanvi, that in the Assembly, the NDA has a majority, isn't it? By no stretch of imagination, you could have won these elections. So NDA
no, but Dinesh Varshney is saying exactly that. He's putting a question mark on who was present and how many were present.
What were you trying to do? I don't understand.
Yes.
What were you trying to prove?
When the pro tem speaker in the rule
has given a ruling,
he cannot take a decision. He is made speaker only for the conduct of assembly till that.
Exactly.
That is
for election of speaker. He was the chairman for election of speaker, isn't it?
When the board
and he has given a ruling, isn't it?
Remain in the house, he cannot change the principally
and the
policy matter of the house.
Also, Tanvi,
the set precedence and tradition he has to.
And the tradition of the Bihar Legislative Assembly. Even then, these people don't want to understand.
Mr.
Okay.
Varshney,
who is conducting the murder of democracy?
Okay, all right. I think
you are responsible.
let me also say this. I think we started using the murder of democracy phrase far too leniently in this country. That democracy seems to be functioning perfectly fine. There are always boundaries that are crossed. There are always those who will try to break the rule. And in that case, yes, we must raise objections. Thank you so much to the gentleman who joined us right now on this conversation. Viewers, I think suffice to say, you cannot really put it beyond any political party, whether it's the BJP, the JDU, the Congress or the RJD, in trying to lure the MLAs from the other side. If this tape is real, it is perfectly possible that Lalu Prasad Yadav did call up a few people on the other side, along with several of his own colleagues, to say, well, don't vote for the speaker that your side wants. You come to our side and we will reward you with ministerial berths. Unfortunate, but that's also a part of our democracy, where poaching and horse trading and bribing each other for votes is nothing new in our political circles. What was a little rare and what was unconventional was the presence of unelected members, non-MLAs, including Nitish Kumar, during the procedure of the voting to choose the Speaker of the Bihar Assembly. A pro tem speaker, which is Jitan Ram Manji, was appointed to carry out the election process inside the assembly for the speaker. This is usually conducted by voice vote. That's usually the norm across assemblies and even in our parliament. But when the numbers are so close to each other and you bring on people who are not allowed to vote, which is your ministers, your chief minister, they are not, in this case, MLAs, members of the House. They shouldn't have been present during the voice vote. Difficult to now say whether they tipped the vote in the balance of one over the other. Fact of the matter is, the deal is done now. There is a Speaker of the House of the Bihar Assembly. One can only hope from here on, at least, instead of constantly trying to destabilize and topple the Nitish Kumar government, the RJD fulfills its responsibility as a responsible and constructive opposition. Thank you for joining us on conversation number 2.